You can see 139 points. They do have a healthy gap there to Gun Dynasty. Team Falcons as well. This is one team that I think we were expecting to step it up in the second half, especially coming up soon. Maybe that will be the turnaround for that squad because they do need to make up points.
Yes, but I don't think 5 points is that healthy, actually, especially with the rest of the game that we have. I'm just not sure that this is quite safe yet for EFOS, so they still have to try somehow to be more consistent, at least in getting those points. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, look at that. Century mark in terms of elimination for Brim United as well. And a lot of teams are trying to do the same thing. They're trying to follow the path that BRU has been playing, but it is difficult right now.
Yep.
Most of them are just playing it with placement point, positioning wise, but BRU just understand what they need to do right now. They are countering. They're going against the flow.
Yeah, but it's also getting ridiculously dangerous for Paradox Gaming. I mean, let's take a look at that. 48 points. They fell behind Titan Esports Club in just 2 games today.
I mean, there's one thing about Paradox Gaming. Hopefully, they let go of the aggressive reign because I think that's where they're failing. Back in the regionals, they're the most aggressive team out of Africa. Now, that's going against them. Like, your aggression, especially with teams who have all eyes on you, then you will be the target in most instances. So, they just tone it down a little bit, play with placement, and then towards the end, if you get that booyah or close it, then that's where you'll have that confidence to get all those eliminations.
It's so close too, and those teams towards the bottom, I mean, we just saw what TAG was able to do before this performance. Yes, they have had some good performances, but they were still there within distance of those teams towards the bottom. The last 2 will end up getting their keys crushed here at Free Fire at EWC 26. Now, can they possibly get a booyah? That's what we're gonna be looking at, especially those teams towards the bottom, because they got absolutely nothing to lose. They know what's at stake, Conchita. Yeah. Either they get a booyah or they go home.
But one thing that I do realize today is something has shifted between all of the teams that are playing in the A group. Yesterday, it was all about aggressiveness. It was all about showing up, showing strength. But today, they are playing it a little bit more strategically. They are trying to be more consistent in terms of collecting elimination points instead of just, showing up with a bang.
You gotta get those elimination points.
Yeah.
You wanna get that booyah. That's just what we're after. I mean, yesterday we even had a competition in regards to those booyahs, and we've been seeing the comments that you guys have been posting on social media. You guys actually heard us use that hashtag EWC, and if I'm not mistaken, we might be featuring some of your guys' stuff right now. I mean, trick to see which teams are gonna be biased towards. We're totally not biased whatsoever here on the desk.
So not. We're supporting everyone.
It's not like we want all the top teams to continue to do great and take that performance. But you can see it right there towards the bottom. X-Tunin says Trap is the best bomber in the world, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, let's see though, because there's a lot of bombers being in here. And this is something that we were talking in the background as well. Though there are a lot of chances of the M79 grenade launcher to be used, not a lot of them are pulling it off. And not even every team is putting in the Steffi to prevent all those grenades. So I hope that we see those great bombers right now being capitalized because there's not so much of going against them.
It wasn't just Lucifer having the confidence in TAG. The fans are out there with the confidence as well. Whether TAG will qualify, which by the way, right now they're looking like they will be qualifying to survival unless they continue to have some more booyahs. Then maybe we have a different narrative here. They will play like beasts today.
But I so agree because then again, this is the Esports World Cup. Of course, we have to play our best. We have to give the best mentality, the best performance. That is what we expect and nothing less. So yeah, that's exactly what we want from each and every single one of the team that is competing today.
I love this prediction there towards the bottom. HEAL, Loud, or Evos. They didn't want to pick one. They're like, you know what? Let's throw 3 of the best teams out there from Group A and see which one actually ends up winning the championship. And I don't blame him because right now there's so many teams being able to step up. We're looking at Demon Sprite on the screen. I know Pakistani fans were expecting a lot more out of this squad that is the champions from Pakistan. Can they possibly do it? That is the big question mark. What are we going to be looking for them to do different? I know we've been talking about the playing styles that we've been seeing out of their squads, maybe playing a little bit too passive, maybe being a little bit too aggressive. Neptune, what are you looking for Demon Sprite to do?
Well, we know that for Demon Sprite in their region, they can be aggressive. They can be tactical as well. But again, there's a lot of teams who has read that already, who has been years ahead of them. Yep. So Demon Sprite just need to stay in the edge right now. Use all the utilities plays that they have, especially those binocular skills, if they want to get a safe spot into the next phase or each phase of the circle, use those R-funds, use those binocular scans, so that at least you'll have a clear view of whether you're heading into danger or just in a safe spot. But that's only that. Not only that, there's also those launch pad that is available depending on the map or which map we're playing in. If I'm not mistaken, our next map would be in Kalahari. So this is where those hook guns will be important. Their entry and exit would be much quicker compared to just walking around or running around.
Now, one of the teams that Demon Sprite is currently hunting down is none other than Titan Esports Club.
Yep.
Conchita, what do they
course.
need to do to make sure they don't get hunted down and end up on those bottom two?
Of course. I mean, the trend that we've been seeing, not just from today, but the match day yesterday, is that you don't actually have to secure a booyah. You can just consistently earn placement points, that elimination points. So I think that should be the objective that Titan Esports Club is focusing right now, instead of trying to, get into a fight, a huge fight with any other team. Just try to make it more safe, more strategic, because I think if we're comparing skills and individuals, they do have what it takes to endure the game, Neptune.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Thailand Esports Club, I think they need Blade to be as sharp as ever. It needs to be...
Wait. Just gonna take a second. Can we please go back to that player? Because he was just relaxing. He was in the mood. If I'm not mistaken, that was AJAL. And they were saying that now, after the performances that they saw, they're looking to be the champions. They're feeling that confidence. And boy, are they. Sorry, Neptune. We had to play that out. Now you can go back to it.
It's just chilling like a villain right there. But anyways, going back to the point, I mean, Blade needs to be as sharp as ever. Get all those eliminations in, get that information on those rush. But again, it's not those careless rush. They need to be strategic. Kalahari is one of those wherein they can capitalize on their snipers to find their position first. But again, it's one thing it's a good thing that we are now on day 2, because they can review what happened in day number 1, especially in this map of Kalahari. And well, despite of not having that much of a gameplay in specific maps, at least they have a general idea of where the other teams are dropping or rotating.
Let's take a look at the overall once again, just to make sure everybody's aware of what's happening right now. Gun Dynasty, I feel like today we really haven't seen the Gun Dynasty that we saw yesterday.
True, because not only they haven't secured a booyah, but the points that they keep on getting the other day, that is something that we haven't seen today. I think that is exactly the problem with the way that the other teams are playing. They're no more showing aggressiveness. They are playing it more smartly, and I think that kind of messed with Gun Dynasty's plan and strategy. Yep. So it's time for them to adapt now, because actually they were one of the team that were very disruptive the other day. Now they are the ones who has to follow the rules, quote unquote.
Yeah, exactly. I think the day number 1, they have that element of surprise.
Yeah.
Gun Dynasty just brought in the big gun dynasty.
Ooh!
See what you did there?
Yeah. Well, it's his uncle in me. But anyways, going back. So they have that element of surprise. They were not caught off guard from yesterday. They have a lot of potential of elimination. But now, give these teams a day's rest, a day's chance of studying your opponent, and this is what you happen. Like, look at Gun Dynasty. They only got 4 or 2 points out of game number 1, and then only 6 points on game number 2. It's not looking good for them, but it's a good thing that they managed to stack it up from yesterday.
And right now, with the team being in 5th place, they are about 15 points away from Evos. Evos did start off good in regards to some of the placements, but we haven't really seen the booyah out of Evos at any point. Remember, these are the defending champions of EWC, especially for Free Fire. Can the pressure end up getting to Evos?
I think there's a possibility that, yes, the pressure is on. They are feeling it right now, because just the other day I had a conversation with some of the casters, and they do tell me that I think it's going to be very difficult for EFOS this time, just looking at how they're doing at the regional, how this year has been for them. But deep inside, I do believe that they know exactly what they're getting themselves into. I mean, we can actually see the maturity coming from some of the players, especially Russia. We saw how he did that one-man show thing, right? At the previous game.
Yeah.
He handled that really well. We didn't see him as a teenager. We saw him as a veteran that is just know exactly what to do and can handle any situation. So hopefully, if we're talking about pressure as the reigning champion, they should have had that nailed down.
But then again, I mean, if they're just reliant on Russia just ending it, that will be the situation over and over again. He's the last man standing. The rest of the squad will just be waiting to be revived if they can be revived. And that is getting tougher and tougher. One good story though for Eva Zivine is after that game number 2 from yesterday, they are getting double-digit points rather all throughout up until today. So that's the trajectory as well as the consistency that we're looking for. Booyah will capital them a little bit higher to make them secure the top 4.
And for Team Falcons, you got to remember, for Team Falcons, they're currently in contention not just to be able to be the champions of Free Fire at the EWC 26, they're also in contention for the club championship. So they want to be able to get those points. They have won in the past year for Free Fire. Which team and which player from Falcons would you like to see step up in this last matches for Group A?
Well, Limited 7. Limited 7 is one of the best snipers that we have in Southeast Asia. Team Falcons has been using him as a threshold when it comes to snipers. But it seems like he is being hampered right now. Again, this current meta is a meta of the snipers. The current update is the update for the snipers. And even Limited 7 is not stepping up. Only the other teams are the ones who's stepping up. So I don't know what strategy is in there. And we're not even seeing him in those close quarter combat. So hopefully he'll be able to step up, lead the squad, because we know the frontliners will be able to cover him.
Yeah, for Falcons, I mean, we saw players yesterday being able to step up. And I'm hearing that we actually have an interview with the Falcons. So let's see what they had to say earlier in the day.
Hello everyone! Right next to me is On Fire from Team Falcons, and I also have Kay for our Thai translator as well. Alright, hello On Fire. So this is our second day, and I think it's gonna be very pressure for Team Falcons because you guys must get into top 4. Have you guys prepared for anything?
ก็วันนี้นะฮะถือว่าเป็นการแข่งวันที่2แล้วนะฮะแล้วก็ค่อนข้างเป็นการแข่งที่เป็นวันที่ค่อนข้างกดดันเป็นอย่างมากสำหรับทีม Falcon นะเนื่องจากว่า Falcon จะต้องขึ้นไปถึงท็อป 4ให้ได้นะฮะได้เตรียมตัวยังไงมาบ้างครับ
ก็เล่นไล่ยิงแบบวันแรกแล้วไม่ได้กดดันเท่าไหร่ครับ
Actually, there's not that much pressure for us. Like we're gonna play like the same as we played yesterday on the first day, so we're gonna go hunt everyone down one by one.
Okay, I understand his perspective, but overall, yesterday, we can see a lot of changes in the roster. So what happened? Are you guys trying to test as much as you guys can during the tournament so you guys can do your best at the finals day?
ก็เข้าใจนะฮะว่าต้องการจะทำอะไรสักอย่างเมื่อวานนะแต่ว่าเนื่องจากว่าเมื่อวานเห็นมีการปรับแผนการเล่นค่อนข้างเยอะเลยอยากจะทราบว่าทีม Falcon ต้องการจะทดสอบอะไรบางอย่างหรือเปล่าฮะหรือว่ามีแผนอะไรอยู่ในใจไหม
ก็ไม่มีนะแค่บางคนยังน้องในทีมบางคนยังกดดันนะเล่นไม่ได้ก็เลยปรับเปลี่ยนกัน
Actually, like it's just like some of the players in our team like are not get used to the playing on the stage yet, so it's a bit of pressure to that player. So, but everything gonna be fine.
Oh, okay, I understand. Okay, so one more question On Fire. I heard this will be your last season in EWC 26, but also in Free Fire. I'm not sure, so I'm asking. So, do you feel any pressure, or do you feel happy when you're here in Paris?
ก็อย่างที่ทราบกันนะฮะว่าปีนี้เนี่ยจะเป็นปีสุดท้ายของ Free Fire อาจจะหรือเปล่าหรือก็ไม่มีใครทราบนะฮะแต่ว่าอยากถามว่ารู้สึกยังไงบ้างครับผม
ก็อะไรนะ
ก็อย่างที่ทราบกันหลายคนทราบกันนะฮะว่าปีนี้จะเป็นปีสุดท้ายแล้วของ Free Fire หรือเปล่าก็ไม่มีใครทราบได้นะฮะเราเลยอยากถามน้องออนไฟว่ารู้สึกยังไงบ้างครับ
ก็จะทำให้ดีที่สุดครับไม่รู้ว่าจะมีอีกหรือเปล่า
Well, as we have no idea, like no clue at all what's gonna happen to the Free Fire, we're gonna be here next year or not in EWC, but we're gonna try our best.
Alright, thank you so much On Fire, and I'm really hoping that you guys can rock back today because yesterday was not kind of smooth for us, but who knows, today they can jump back really fast. Thank you On Fire and sending a lot of lucks to Team Falcons today, and thank you to Kay as well. Thank you for your listening, and now let's go around, shall we?
I like that for us. Okay, we're not biased at all. We're just a little bit biased sometimes.
See, I'm not the only one.
You're not the only one.
We're not the only one.
Yeah, well, we'll see though. Well, I think it's time to see if Falcons maybe is going to end up getting a booyah. Let's send it over to Lucifer and Husky.
Team Apex Gaming, after getting their booyah back home, their fans feel like this dream which was surreal is now come into play, come into action, and now that will rally everybody to look forward to making it to the finals. And with that, we start our match 9 here at Esports World Cup 2026 Paris. And it looks like Group A, which was supposed to be the group of death, is also becoming a little bit of a comeback for some of the teams to get out of the chopping block.
There might be still some big separations between 6th and 7th spot. Falcons still being the gatekeeper there, but Team Apex Gaming has proven that those booyahs, they make a lot of difference. They shoot up to the 7th spot. But when we look at some individual stats, the Wonder Kid Rasha still tops the chart with the most eliminations at 36, Trap and Cypher sharing 33 apiece, which means that these key players are always going to be the biggest difference makers, like what we've seen in the first 2 games. But now we head into Kalahari, and I'm looking at one team to take it back home, and I hope that that is going to be EVOS.
You hope for EVOS, the fans hope for their favorite teams as a fight breaks out. Demon's Pride, they're still at the chopping block. They've not made their move. Paradox also the ones, and it seems like Enrique is in trouble.
A bit of a tap dance there, Enrique. Still heading up for safety. Paradox. Are there any resistance? Jazzy has already chased down Enrique. So first blood achieved by Demon's Pride. Paradox with the instant revive. Madara with the chase down too. That's sneaky gone. 2 for Demon's Pride, but finally some clapback.
But it's not a pick, it was just a knock, and therefore Demon's Pride will still be happy. They'll be getting 3 eliminations at the end of this fight at Foundation, but there's more that they have to pick up in case they don't want to be eliminated. Those keys are dreams to a lot. And coming out from Pakistan, just one dream is theirs: to stay alive, go to the survival stage, and it's not going to be easy because now in front of them there's Loud. And Trap is the second best in the highest eliminations just after Russia. So it's going to be even more tougher. However, his teammates are not close by.
I mean, as we get closer to the halfway point of Group A, things are starting to feel a lot more surreal by the second. Especially like you said, the dreams, right? These dreams come at the cost of someone else's.
Yep.
EVOS, despite having more of a tougher game too, we did hear what Conchita said. The survival instinct of the Wonder Kid kept them alive for longer than they should have. Just, humanly possible. Trap with the pickup on the Madara. And even for TAG that had a booyah in the last game. Woke something up in Aurora, who wants to follow in their footsteps. This KD god that gets chased down. Zuez on the case. And a full wipeout here. TAG from riches to rags.
This is not the result they would have expected after getting a booyah instant wipeout, but Aurora also needs something to say for their fans. Out of Malaysia, it's not an easy run that they've had. They've not made it to many of these stages, and finally coming out, they want to make a wave, and they do it. Maybe Kalahari, even Neptune mentioned, the hook comes coming in, the game is going to be faster, the sniper's going to try and battle it out, and the CQC, it'll be undefendable.
When we last checked in on the overall ranking, Gun Dynasty pushed out a top 4.
Yeah.
Currently sitting in 5th spot. First 2 games hasn't been kind, and it seems like it will only get worse as Benel hasn't really found anything. Same for Vegas. And in front of them is BRU, the worst possible entity to go up against in this case. AGAL dispatches of Paradox Gaming's members.
Sneaky, he's also been spotted. It's going to be trouble. He's the last one. Is he close to the vending machine? He's making a run for it. I'm not sure how many coins he has. There you go. He has 1,100. So he should be able to bring back some of his teammates. But you can see AGAL, they're already a run. They do not want to let Sneaky survive. And Sneaky is just running across the compounds to figure out if he can dabble around, confuse the opponents. But it doesn't seem like it's happening. And very soon he will be found and Paradox will be put to an end.
And that's already 3 teams removed from the lobby. And just at the timing of 4 minutes, Lau gets a full revive here, courtesy of Trap. Falcons actually running into Aurora as well, who earlier on got the wipeout. The previous Booyah team, which was Team Apex Gaming. And I mean, for Aurora, on a good day, the only thing that holds them back is that recklessness, right? That bloodlust sometimes causes them to kind of tunnel vision. EXO getting brought back, they should be fine. In fact, It is a fair fight if Aurora gets into a 3v3 against Falcons. Aurora does get tagged by Zuez. And On Fire called in as reinforcement with the Trogon in hand. And Zuez will now have to take that fight on. Coming in close, but On Fire is the one that gets the chip damage in.
Falcons with Gun Dynasty not having they should be there opening an opportunity. Zuez could have been taken down, but On Fire quick on that glue wall. But finally his teammate is there. Kiroro answers. And that's going to be another added on elimination. The second coming in for them. But on the other end, Damage leader Trap has been besting rushers, youngsters, and he's still been leading the front. But finally Ray puts him down, not giving him enough chance right now, at least here on Kalahari. But we know the squad, they rally up quickly, they will get him back up. But on the other end, EVOS, after the first two unfortunate games that they've had, they would want to pick up points themselves as well, because they're the defending champions. They are now close to being pushed down if Falcons make it to the top 4.
Absolutely, and even for Aurora, this is going to be a tough game because they are getting picked up by multiple teams and having to invest resources in their revive. Demon's Pride still in the last spot as of yet, found their 4-point. I think in this case, right, we've seen Demon's Pride in the first 2 games itself. It's not like they kind of went out on a whimper, right? They came in, they get a couple of eliminations. But I think it's about time we talk about the placements for them, because some of the first 2 lobbies, wipeouts didn't happen early on. It's not like Kalahari where we've already lost 3 teams, about to be potentially 4 as Lao are on their last legs. So that means that for Demon's Pride, sure, you're getting eliminations, but if we don't get that injection of placement, you are going to be in that bottom 2, because they have been racking up some digits.
I really like that you brought the point of placement points, because it's going to now get crucial, especially if you're in the top 4. There is no in-between day before your grand finals, if you already make it to the finals. And especially at that time, your placement points count. You need to get closer to the champion rush condition, and if you don't, other teams will make it closer, and the Booyah seals the deal of that key and the shield finding a new home.
Yeah, and it has happened across multiple regions. I mean, we look back at 2025 spring for SCA. It was Onyx that got that win when no one thought they would, right? We call it the Onyx incident. The same happened for the regional USA, where Mia Corp, not the favorite to win.
Yeah.
They got here because they got that Booyah. And that's where consistency matters the most. It really hits home the cliche saying, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Exactly.
You could have 200 points in the grand finals, but if a team that hits champion rush at 90 points gets the Booyah, they are going to be the champion, and you will only come in second for your efforts.
I'm pretty sure nobody would want to take #2, because we know how devastating it is, especially that the champion can walk away with 3 keys that they would want to add on to their trophy while being crushed. And that is something that esports brings the rawness out of every player, every team. And that's the best part of it. It creates a system of rivalry that they want to again go for an achievement and take them down the next time. But for now, as they're here in the moment, they have to get it going. Quick pause that we have before we resume. Kalahari has already seen 3 teams out of the play, but Buriram, they are on top of it this time. They've been quick to get 7 eliminations. They would want to do a lot more, because every other team, they've been taking it away in the first 2 games that we witnessed, and especially at today's halfway mark for Group A here at Match 9, and after this, just 3 more games. And if anybody wants to get back on the race, make sure they're safe and sound. They need to deny the points to the top 4 teams.
Yeah, and I think in the worst case scenario, if a team really has no more chance, and this is probably when we get into match 5 and 6 for day 2, you can play spoilers.
Yeah.
You can ruin the chances.
Oh.
Kick someone out of top 4. Force them to play 10 more games tomorrow.
There's already Gun Dynasty who have missed their mark today. They've not been able to perform in the first 2. They're already the 5th spot. Falcons, they should have been the best ones to take that 4th spot away, but that's not happened yet.
And I think the worst case right now, I mean, the situation gets worse for Gun Dynasty, right?
Yeah.
The first 2 rounds, middle of the pack, just gently pushed out of top 4 by Evo. I say gently, but there was more. There's a double-digit difference. They just got wiped out.
Yeah.
And I think our panel did say, our host, Barney and Luti did mention that during the team walk-ins that the team that, finishes top of the group, they get the privilege of operating the Crusher.
Oh,
It's 2 keys, but still,
yeah, those are 2
hold-
dreams.
You
going
hold the
out.
dreams in the palm of your hands.
That's a lot. That's a lot for as a responsibility, but at the same time, to see your chances just being crushed, powdered down, and I don't think anybody would want it, but that's how Group A, that's how terrifying Group A has been since yesterday. And even Conchita mentioned this, right? Such a drastic change between Group A's performance on day 1 and day 2 of how teams have become tactical, strategic, thinking about their chances, thinking about the number of points they need, thinking about can they make it out and survive further.
Yeah, and I do enjoy the effort of some of the teams, some of the unproven regions. We saw TAG, but we put Pakistan in the conversation, Demons Pride, Paradox from Africa, Titan Gaming as well, DRS, basically those at the bottom. Even Aurora, they're coming out a little bit more harder. They're coming out with more aggression and sure, double-edged sword, but they're getting the work done, right? This is some of the initiative that I think took them some time to get used to, but now when the tension breaks, you see Demons Pride coming out with a couple of eliminations and they need to patch that up with the placement points.
I like that there is a little bit of a tension break also in this pause happening on stage. We ended up seeing the 6-7 and DRS. They have a total of 67 points.
We were literally talking about this, right? Like, are we going to get an opportunity to be like, oh, this, BRU, they have 161 points, and then we move down the list and it was like, oh, DRS 6-7. Yeah, wish dreams do come true on this stage.
Yeah, for us as well. Something that we wished for earlier, it happens.
And it transcends generation. I think that is the best part right here. Of course, we are going to have it sorted out, and it's good that it's still in the first phase, right? I say in the first phase, we lost 3 teams. It's
and Kalahari,
and it's Kalahari.
It's very brutal on Kalahari as the grapple guns come in. It's an open terrain. Everybody just has an eye on you, even if you run away. Because we could see, right, the run coming in from Paradox's Sneaky. He was trying to move away from AGL as much as possible. Unfortunate, no vending machine. He was trying to confuse them, and it still did not work out because AGL, there was nothing that Sneaky could hide on.
Yeah.
Buildings clearly seen, windows all open, and whenever Sneaky jumped around, they could even spot him and eventually close the distance and put him down. So that's going to happen throughout the game of Kalahari for every team.
I was making an observation, and I wonder if we call for Moshi, will he wake up? Sir, you still have a couple more games to go. So no nap time for you guys. I was going to see, I think the wait is going to be the more nerve-wracking part for these teams, right? It's also a matter of like you get into the groove, things are going well, and then someone slams on the brake.
I really like how the storyline itself for Group A has kind of shifted. When we started, we were kind of talking, I think this is going to be an easier decision made for us.
Right.
We're going to be casting. The top 4 teams are already sitting there. They should be easily qualifying. Gun Dynasty in that top 4. But all of a sudden, things have changed. Falcons might have a chance. Evos have not found the best of points. Yes, they're sitting at a total of 141, but that's not completely pretty. If Gun Dynasty end up finding a big game, Evos don't. Evos get put out. After having only 1 Booyah and they still are not their defending champions, will be pushed to the survival stage. So much changing in Group A, completely unexpected.
I think it's a good time to also kind of expand on our earlier conversation about Gun Dynasty, right? Because we saw the interview. They don't feel the pressure. It feels like home. They are very confident and very warranted in the confidence off of day 1. But you also told me back in the green room that there's a good chance that GD falls out of top 4. And I want to expand on that.
Now, the main reason, right? This is something that I've seen in circuit of Free Fire, that some of the teams have a lot of energy coming in, a lot of aggression, and it transcends into points. But day 2 is when they have to keep that consistency going on. But by that time, teams get exhausted. Their playbook falls short, and I think maybe a tad bit for Gun Dynasty, that's the main factor to affect. To add on to that, that's where I thought Ali, they should have a chance today later in our Group B matches, just because they had aggression on the stage. Yes, they were not happy with the result because they also almost had a booyah, but that also helps them refine those mistakes that they did yesterday, maybe to qualify today.
Yeah. And again, the detail on the plaque, nothing is given, everything is earned, written in the native language of EVOS. In this case, it's Bahasa Indo, and it applies to across the entirety of EWC, across the game titles, and it's in the native language of the team that wins it. It'd be great to see it maybe in Portuguese if a Brazilian team brings it back. There is a good chance That has been the story. And I think, the interesting part is always that we look at the Thailand as the best region.
Yeah.
And that's only because we see them more often. But we get onto that world circuit, suddenly Brazil is in the conversation and the playbook completely changes. We even see the bullseyes kind of shift, right? At first it was just BRU. If we take BRU down, we own the world. But now it's the entirety of Thailand.
Yep.
Indonesia starts to step up. And I dare say South Asia, India, Nepal, Pakistan have a dang good chance of making something happen. But I mean, even for Demon's Pride,
Yeah.
smiles on their face, completely different from the walk-in where they,
Oh, yes.
where you can feel that nervousness. Now, I think they're just enjoying the moment, and maybe that's the best way to survive another day.
I think that's something while we were back in the green room, we all were talking, right? Some of the teams need to have some fun. Even Neptune mentioned this. You have to take these games at least with a bit of fun. If you don't, if there's too much in terms of thought put into it, a lot being, I would say, relayed between each other, a lot of talking that you should be doing this should have gone better, and all of those thoughts will eventually make you a lot more nervous, anxiety running high. That will end up messing your performance. And I think it's time to have a little bit of fun, to bring back the game that you use in your own region, where you top your region. That has to be brought back. That element, you have to isolate yourself. Like, I think that's what Gun Dynasty were channeled into yesterday. If they channel back that today, they should be back in the top 4 and pushing competition out.
Yeah, if we have seen TAG achieve that history for the region of India
Yeah.
with that very first world stage booyah, I think Demon's Pride has a good chance, right?
Yes.
We were going through the narrative and you were telling me that, as much as we see hot shot on the world stage 2 years in a row, Demon's Pride, were technically the better team, but they just couldn't be the ones that qualify. Well, now they made it here.
Yes, they
made
made
it here. And if they are the rightful ones, they're the ones that deserve that spot. It's a long time coming. Took them 3 years. Here they are. But so far the team feels like it has been slightly reoccurring, right? With the region still at the bottom, and I'm looking at Demon's Pride to change that.
One more region to change this fact is going to be Bangladesh. I want to see Titan Esports Club. They're the giants of the region. Even expected Straw Hats, but as of now, it's now worked out. But Loud, the last one, BZP gets picked out, and that's going to be an end for Loud Snickers here on Kalahari.
Yeah, even when we look at the replay here, Benel just had no way out, and that was the wipeout onto Gun Dynasty as well. That is a major setback. The captain of BRU turning it up when it's needed. And they have found DRX Pratik also removed. I believe that is maybe 4 teams out of the lobby already. Loud actually got picked off screen.
Yeah. Last player, just as the game resumed, the player got picked off, did not have a chance to go in for a revive, and this is how brutal as we get to the halfway mark, at least halfway in terms of the 6 games they had, but they're already at match 9, 3 more games left, deciding the fate of whether they qualify directly into the finals or they'll be pushed to the survival stage or completely knocked out of the tournament itself. But still, Loud's captain, Trap, who was there with an interview on stage, still being the player at the 2nd spot with the most eliminations next to Russia at 33. That says a lot about Loud.
I think even the first time when we saw Trap playing on that big stage, we know that this guy is a very aggressive guy, very full of energy. Likes to go in aggressively like a madman. Sometimes doesn't pay off, but it's something that has given Loud that personality and value in times of need. Titan Gaming not doing that good. TEC, excuse me, not doing that good as well. One last survivor with the Morse deal, taking out Jazzy. AJL pushes forward. Demon's Pride. This is the ultimate test if they can make it any further, but with Aswap being taken down and Madara removed as well. It's only top 16 to make this a run and keep it alive. The revival does come through, only enough for 1, but 1 is better than none.
Yeah. It's better than completely getting eliminated. Top 16 position, yes, no, and they are surrounding him, making sure he has nowhere to run. And that was a quick movement coming through. That was just distraction over there for top 16. And he'll also be picked up. AGL scoring total 8 elimination, 4 going in for Dew, and Dew has been phenomenal today. The sniper coming into play. They start off with the very first booyah, and they're continuing those spree of eliminations.
I mean, Dew has always been the player that no matter what happens to a roster, you want him to be the constant. And
yes,
it has been so many years. I remember first time seeing Dew, it was back in 2022, and they came close to a global trophy. That was taken by BRU under the leadership of Jonah. Aim God on fire here. Falcons You did say there is the race between Falcons and EVOS, and so far EVOS are winning. Im got forward with the hook gun to hunt for more of those Falcons members. Limit X7 out of it, but Kororo unfortunately still exposed.
It's going to be tough for him to run away. Ray's gotten closer. This tower is not going to protect him. He's trying to use the edges. The Kalahari. It's not going to work out. Keroro's completely surrounded now. Can he isolate the duels throw? No dash as available for Imgod. He used it all to make it here. Damage being done, and finally Keroro will be put down. EVOS making sure the competitors for them in the top 4 run are going to be vanquished. They'll be shut down, making sure Falcons move to the survival stage and not take away their very own position at top 4.
We did sort of establish this. This could be a EVOS Memon Kalahari. Ezreal. Good stuff from miles away. Nailing the 5th one for his team. One of the few imports we have for a Malaysian team. In fact, the very first player that was imported was Crimen KS from Indonesia. And ever since then, it has been working well, improving the ecosystem over the years. And I'm happy that Aurora has made this change and made this move. And not just bringing in Ezreal, but giving rookies 2 years ago like Zuez and the EXO, the veteran, to lead them. And it has paid off so far, but of course, it's more to be desired if Aurora wants to catch up.
Yeah. There's a lot more to be desired, but the circle has its own desires of troubling teams. Moving completely northwestern, and none of the teams are inside the circle. Everybody's trying to use their binoculars, but nobody's getting a hit inside the circle because there's nobody at foundation. And finally, EVOS, they decide that's going to be our position, our command post, which is also not seen action so far like Refinery, even though there are teams. It seems a little surprising that we've not seen Refinery and Command Post being a hotspot.
Yeah. At least for this game, it's because the circle doesn't favor it, right? If not, BRU is going to be there until, ends of the world. Moshi finding Aswap. Refinery is going to be the next control point that BRU wants to wrestle over. Top 16 next on the list. Wasana chases down Jazzy. And unfortunately for Demon's Pride, they got out of a tough situation earlier on from AGAL's jaws, only to run into another Thai Titans. And now it's everyone for themselves.
On the other end, it's going to be DRS trying to go in for a second chance. Titan Esports Club, they're about to lose their players. Blade is down. Seems like A is not going to be sharp enough today. Neptune mentioned he has to be for the team. But another loss for Titan Esports Club. Kutosh and Najat, they're way too far away, and DRS will be happy about these eliminations. And Titan Esports Club might have made it out of the chopping block for the time being, but it's not going to be enough. If Demon's Pride end up finding points, they might decide to rank up. 57 is where Titan Esports Club is sitting at. Demon's Pride is at 46. Paradox out of this game at least. So if Demon's Pride have an opportunity to score at least 8-9 points, they can instantly take the position away from Titan Esports Club.
Or at least kick Paradox down to last place, which technically they've already accomplished. It's a scary thought, and if you add on top of that, if DRS starts getting some points, then we form the separation between them and the bottom three. And it's a scary thought if you are Titan Esports Club in this point of time. But I guess the blessing in disguise is that DP, they have been struggling quite a little bit in the hands of the Thais. BRU finding Blade again, who just got brought back. So the bottom dwellers are getting fed into the meat grinder.
Buriram on the other end, they find Demon's Pride. We were just talking about them need points. Aswab gets eliminated. And if that continues, a lot more problem. It seems like Buriram are also spotting Titan Esports Club Rahat. That'll also be quickly picked up by Moshi. On the other end, Aurora on Falcons. Buriram finally going in for a full-on fight. Madara is the last one. He's behind a glue wall. Jonah has already called it. And the entire squad is rushing to him. And with him going down, that's the end for Demon's Pride. They wanted to rank up. They wanted to get eliminations. But it seems like Titan Esports Club, the worry at least on Kalahari, will die down.
They have one more chance at least. Blessed by BRU. 17 eliminations and counting. Now it's the move to Foundation. At least to the western side of Foundation. You have Kororo planted right in the middle, but Falcons suffered some heavy damage. And in fact, Kororo is the only survivor, so they should be a non-factor if you are concerned about Team Falcons. TEC split up, which we did see, and Aurora on the radar as well. This is quite the clear path to push through. They have stragglers like members from TEC and Falcons to get a couple of free points. They could start with Rahat if they want.
Buriram now a little trouble because AGAL have started to fire. Taken down the captain Jonah. On the other end, Aurora trying to hold off at the edge of the circle, but the circle will also start shifting as the zone is completely shrink. They'll only wait and try to see if they could spot somebody. In the meanwhile, at a distance, Boltmaker being spotted. That's going to be Evos fighting for elimination. And Evos, we spoke about them. They had the advantage inside the circle. They laid their foundation, but unfortunately, the circle did not allow it. It forced them. Abax will still be able to find Takure is out. And now on Buriram as well, Evos still firing, finding elimination and also helping out AGAL in the mix.
And again, for the third game in a row, the circle forces everyone to go into the open as the ultimate test. AGAL on your screens, 11 eliminations, and the second one could be confirmed if they remove Ray, but Ray gets picked back up. Cypher instantly with a double up and putting immense pressure on the Evos Divine, forcing those blue walls out. Rasha has already ran out of that. Defenses dwindling for Evos. AGAL continuously displaying lead at them. Abax needs some help. AGAL finds another one.
Everybody needs help right now, even DRS. Falcons, the last man, Keroro gets taken down. That's the end for them. Aurora now trying to climb up, but it's going to be difficult. They don't have any vision above, no information, so running up is going to be difficult. And finally, Evos do not allow that. With Axel going down, a lot more trouble strikes Aurora. And now Evos also deciding to send off in the other direction because the zone is not in their favor. But before that, they will have to clear a position. They spotted two different teams, but they're only spotting the players. They don't know it's two different teams. And Titan Esports Club, that's going to be Blade getting taken down. Cypher from AGAL helping out in the mix. Azriel trying to back off, join his teammates. AGL in the mix, making sure that Evos don't survive. A rush up. He puts Azriel down, confirms, but it's going to be DRS stealing it away. Knocks from somebody, eliminations from somebody. But who is winning it? It is AGL with Evos together that smash DRS out.
And Jun just didn't know where to look, and that ends out in his death. Dew another snap with an aim gun, and finally the Wonder Kid has had enough. He comes back, shoots Dew down, and Evos have a good chance. 4v3, they have the weaponry. Raiders get dropped by Nameless and make it even. Aim God down in health, Apex is down. Nameless putting everything into his hands, and he might be the one that drags them across the finishing line. Nameless with the support, Aim God now all alone. Barros is there by his side, and Cypher with the final nail in the coffin. 20 eliminations, AGAL books the second booyah.
Second booyah of the day, and AGAL are making sure they seal the deal in the top 4. Do not give the chance, especially with these top teams already taking away the points. It's getting very dicey down there for teams at the bottom. They don't know what they have to figure out. Match number 9 is done. 10, 11, 12, 3 more games to go. And at the end of it, keys are going to get crushed, meaning your opportunities here in EWC 2026 in Paris, at least with this season, is done.
Almost done. We're about to close the chapter on 2 of these boats. The halfway point being crossed means that pressure starts to set in for the teams at the bottom, potentially in the red zone. But I gotta say, Evos, sure, no booyah, but they held on for so long. In the battle of attrition, they were on the losing side, and this was the spirit that got them that trophy lift last year, and we're seeing it on display again. Despite no booyah, they still, I think, walk away with a win.
Yeah, and somehow they've always been balancing themselves against Falcons, because Falcons, as long as they survive, they have a chance in the top 4, and Evos could be pushed down and they would have to move to the survival stage. And I think somehow they haven't read about it. The White Tigers are able to find their way through, and they are still keeping themselves afloat in the top 4. However, AGAL, I think we spoke about this, looking forward to placement points, looking forward to booyah is what you have to ideate, especially as you make it to the champion rush.
Yeah. Let's listen to what AGL has to say.
มาดิงานสลิงปีนตายหมดเพื่อนโอ้ยเฮียกูยิงอย่างเวอร์ไอ้สัตว์ฉะนั้นผมไอ้บ้า
Cool, calm, collected. It's a bit of a stretch of the arms. Just another day in the office for AGL.
Yeah, it didn't seem like they were very hasty, or there was a lot of rapid comms, if I could say it.
Yeah, it's
Cool,
just
calm,
like
connected.
Oh, we get the booyah.
Yeah, you do this. There's a man here. That's about it. That's I think the basic understanding we got.
I think so too. I mean, these boys have been together for quite a long
that's true.
time. took a while to kind of assemble. Well, it didn't take that long to assemble the squad, but it took a while to really build that chemistry. It's paying off. I mean, 32 points is a dream to even hit 30 points in a single round.
Yeah.
Usually these are the sort of the deal breakers. This is what decides who wins the championship or who gets ahead of the curve. AGAL, they come in with 32, but we did talk about EVO's 27 points. Not too shabby. BRU, 26. The front runners are still there.
Opportunities for everybody. On the other end, if you look at the bottom page, Demon's Pride, they did have a little bit of a lift-off, 7 total points, 4 elimination. Loud Sneakers, their opportunities are getting pushed out by some of the teams. The fights, especially between Falcons as well as EVOs, is troubling them and they're getting eliminated a little too early. However, one thing that we've been talking about, right? Thailand taking away the trophy, even on the world stages, even here on EWC, even Indonesian teams now rising up the ranks. But AGL, they've been winning in the region. They want to get a big trophy, a global one. Can they do it? Looking at how now they've built up on day 2, there is a storyline that could be written.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm looking at the players, and I think even Gun Dynasty are starting to feel the heat, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
again, 3 rounds in a row. This was a team that came in hot. They were tailing behind BRU. We talk about if we put placement points aside, technically Gun Dynasty is the better team compared to BRU because they have no Booyahs compared to the 3 that BRU has. But I think right now we have a bigger problem, a bigger question for them, right?
Yeah.
Is day 1 it? Is that it? 'Cause we got 3 more games coming up.
Yeah. I hope Gun Dynasty change their approach because they still have a chance. With 3 more games left here for Group A, there's an opportunity, but looking at how these teams are fighting, right, especially the Southeast Asian teams, they are going all guns blazing. They're looking unstoppable and they're not giving points to anybody to even approach for. And that is unfortunately not giving them an opportunity to look forward to a lot more. However, opportunities right across this breather for everybody.
Barney and Ludi, we accept your challenge here in Kadia City at the Golf Predetermined Tournament. Lace and Glitter, we are going to challenge you and beat your score, but not without a prize.
Yeah, you know, it feels like it might be a little bit rigged in favor for Barney, but I really want the prize Lace is talking about because we are going to get an EWC 2026 custom printed t-shirt with our name on it, or the name of the winner, really, you know. So that's what I'm aiming for.
Yeah, and we want to win because we love competition. So let's fire away, Glitter. Come on, stand over here. Get the position down. We have to beat these boys. All right, looking great. Play golf. Ready? Okay, 9, 8, 7, 6. Don't be nervous. 5, 4, 3, 2. Got to beat the boys. All right, she's got some incredible form here, and all she needs to do is aim for the flag. Not too much power in the positioning here, but it looks like it's going directly there. A fair bit of power behind it. This looks like a good one.
Okay, I'm actually pretty proud of that. I'm not mad about that. 90.5, that does put me above Barney. Lace, I know you can do the same. It does help to limber up a bit, you know? And the tips that I found is, you know, just ignore the audience, okay? Yep, not too much power, not too little power. Just the right amount. Yeah. Keep your eye on the ball. Envision it going towards the pin. You can do this, Lace. We gotta show the boys. Oh, it's looking good. No, it's okay. It's getting close. Rolling in. Oh! You did beat Ludi. You did beat Ludi, though, to be fair. Not too shabby, Lace.
I mean, look, as long as we beat them, that's fine. But of course, we want to challenge our next people. We're looking at you, Severed and Neptune. Are you up for the challenge?
We're definitely up for that challenge. Don't you worry, we'll be able to beat the scores that you guys were able to beat. But one team that's currently challenging everybody is none other than AG, because my gosh, this squad has now gotten 2 Booyahs. They might be going for that third one, but the rotations that they were able to do were great.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're focusing on the South Stay, making sure that it is clear out of the area, and even contending off those rotation if someone will be coming in. And one thing that they did, especially in the previous game, is in the 5th circle, the moment that it counts down to 5th circle closing in, they triggered that bolt maker, the lightning zone. So it's a threat to everyone and also damage them. So with all those damage, they can also spot out the opponent, and it gives them more of a leeway so that they will not be rushed in. So smart move coming from AJAL so that they can get that booyah.
I love that we have one of the best analysts here for Free Fire, none other than Neptune, being able to break down all the rotations, the skills in the game. How about we break down that Booyah curse? Because Tag ended up being affected by that one. Hopefully AG is not going to be affected by it here coming up.
I guess there's a lot of things that they need to change right now, and just to get away from that Booyah curse.
Let's hope that that's going to be the case. Lucifer, Husky, do you think AL is going to be affected by the Booyah curse or no?
I don't think so. There is a chance that they want a title. We've been talking about their counterparts, right? They've been taking these titles, the global ones, the world stages, and AGAL have always been getting closer, have been getting the #2s, but finally is this the stage? Esports World Cup 2026, all gamers global, actually go global.
I mean, I would say they are already global, but it's about cementing themselves on that stage. Funnily enough, the first and only world trophy, global from the start of time. And I think for AGAL, very good chance. Cypher now second in terms of most eliminations, still tailing behind the Wonder Kid, who is in first place, but slower taking Trap, who unfortunately was wiped out pretty early on. But we still cannot look past the fact that snipers are pretty important, as top 3 most damage are all in the sniper role.
As we head to Purgatory, it seems like the flight path had its own course of mind, completely southern favored. However, still teams managed to make their way around the fields, but the fight already breaks out just because of how unfavorable the flight path was. Loud are trying to answer back to Falcons. It's been an exchange. Trap will be able to get back next. So 2 eliminations for Falcons. And on the other end, we did end up seeing fights that Falcon want to now stand tall on against Loud, and Loud, with those eliminations, they managed to grab on one. Can they find more? Gun Dynasty, they're against Demon's Pride, but as we see the feed as well, it seems like Team Apex Gaming are now, they're breaking their own curse. They found an opening against Aurora.
Yeah, I want to see the earlier pep talk just now is going to bring some breeze on life in the GD. So far, doesn't seem to be the case. Demon's Pride standing tall, but there is response. Benel, yesterday he stepped up, and now he is stepping up finally after the halfway point. David with a great follow-up. Exactly what Gun Dynasty needs.
And with Gun Dynasty back in a play like this, there's an opportunity that they stand a chance to get back to the top 4. A lot more competition getting spiced up just for that position to the final. Demon's Pride, they want to be a part of it, but they're getting hit upon, they're getting taken down, their exchanges are not working their way, they're unable to find much, but still, even though the last player is surviving, they've managed to get 3. But we spoke about this earlier, a replay where Falcons and Loud were exchanging blows one after another. And I can see, it seems like Loud did manage to get 1 elimination. However, Falcons had a better of it, get a total of 4.
Yeah. We even saw Paradox Gaming having a pep talk as well during the intermission. And I think the expressions has changed, right? We look back at some of the player reactions after round 3. Reality is starting to set in that this could be the 3rd last game for some of them, and certainly going to be an early exit for Aurora Gaming. Twice today.
Yeah.
Out of 4 matches, 2 of them is Aurora Gaming being the first one to leave.
Aurora, yes, they don't look super dicey on points, that they will be pushed out and their key being crushed. They should make it to the survival stage, but they not better their chances and let it to the fate of other teams' performance. AGL on the other end, I think, as you already mentioned, we were speaking about it. It is Battle Royale that they have to get their hands on, a trophy, a title. But Gun Dynasty's Benel, this player was a beast yesterday, and today finally now in this game gets to elimination. He did get the information across to Shairu, who's now stuck at Ski Lodge. And AGAL seem to be just chasing that one player who got stuck here, and Shairu will just try and buy time. There's nothing else that he can do. That's just one elimination that AGAL will be able to get. But on the other end, it seems like instantly the feed gets lit up loud. Gosha finds one elimination. Evo's getting troubled in this action, and now they're also rushing closer. Nyx moving in the right direction, but there's also Falcons in the mix.
Aimgod actually taking a lot of heat as well. Aimgod does bring the Wonder Kid back, but Limit will take out Ray. Once more, brought back by the captain of EVOS. This is what we've seen, at least at the Esports World Cup. EVOS willing to send the Wonder Kid out on an expedition, and he holds himself pretty well. Trap actually getting removed, so the attention onto EVOS now, diverted onto Falcons. Aimgod tried to take advantage of that, but Pina was ready. Receives the hit, gets another elimination for his own. Apex now committed, comes in, but on fire, lying in wait with Limit.
That flash freeze almost looked like he would be able to find two. Abax, nice try over there, but quick recovery coming in from Limit. And even Neptune mentioned we have to see Limit X7 performing. Snipers have been the recent meta, and he has to step up for the team. We've not seen the best coming in from his end yet. And maybe Falcons rise up to that occasion. Even Yunsul, we saw her talking to the Falcons, and it seems like it's not yet working. Kerora, who was about to just land on the roof, will be instantly shut down.
Oh, Russia trying to play some mind games there with the vehicle, but not going to work on Nyx. One of the top stars as well from Brazil. Him and Traps, in fact. That being said, we did see a bit of a stat there, but now 4 revives so far this game. Being the field medic and making sure that his team continuously stays alive in this match. It's a good chance that they run into Loud Snickers. We'll have to see if GD have found something within them. So far, I mean, haven't really gotten much done this game. And we saw them get up to a good start, 3 eliminations, that's pretty much it. Now we need to see that conversion. We gotta go further. Disappointment and stress on Aurora Gaming's players' face too. That's the toughest part, honestly, sitting through the entire lobby if you exit early.
Well, right now, when you talk about exits, it's been Paradox who've been suffering eliminations. They've been getting pushed out of every game. And Denrique, he's now getting chased by Barros. Spotted, launcher boot out, and instantly Denrique, he thought it's going to be the launcher, but it's going to be Dew on the other end. And we said the sharpshooter Dew today, he's been phenomenal. 2 eliminations of his own, and Paradox, everybody who are around the moat house will be forced off. Thankfully, it's not a wipe. They had a teammate across who will bring the whole squad back.
Second win in this game. GD very split up. So far the circle has been ruthless, very merciless today. It seems like it's going to continue to be the case. Brings us to north of Brasilia, and with Fields as center point, AGAL now takes on TEC. Blade snapped in half. Rajat down to 10%, bleeding out as well. Knockdown is still with the delivery system, and this time up close and personal.
Kudush trying to make a run from this, but he's walking right towards Team Apex Gaming. It's going to be difficult. Last man standing. If he doesn't survive this, it's going to be an end for Titan Esports Club. They chase towards making it towards the finals. If there is an opportunity, it has to be the survival stage. And somehow Kudush, in terms of his maneuvering, he's been able to cross between both Team Apex Gaming as well as All Gamers Global and survive for the time being.
Gotta play for placements now. Kudush calming with the rest of his team. He does have coins. Now he needs that vending machine. Purgatory is one of the bigger maps we have. And that makes it very, very hard to navigate with no vehicles. And we're out alone in the cold. And to make things worse, AGAL still prowling nearby. We took at the rotations. EVOS Esports, the very bottom. BRU still holding on to Quarry and Marble Works, which is their favorite spot on the western side of the map. The favorite drop spot, in fact. We should expect a rotation through Marble Works in just a little bit as Limit picks up Nyx again.
During rotations, even Gun Dynasty right now, they picked up a total of 7 eliminations. Benel, while we saw him being the medic, he's also managed to get 5 eliminations of his own. That's how brilliant he is. And what a play coming in from Rahat here. A quick replay for Titan Esports Club. A quick drive-by, putting the player out, getting an extra elimination. Gun Dynasty, they have to find a lot more as such as we just witnessed. But on the other end, it seems like Team Apex Gaming were about to go for a fight, but they're stuck in between two teams. On one end, we see DRS, on the other, that's Demon's Pride. So it's a sandwich situation. They have to get out of it very soon.
I think Paradox also switching it up. This is one of the few games that they are able to really not get into any altercations early on, which is something that they've been trying to avoid. DRS in the crosshairs of David. The anti shots gotta be good. Gotta hit harder. Gotta be a bit more sharper. Missed opportunity there for Gun Dynasty. But now having 6 out of the 8 eliminations for the team. TEC gets full revive. I think Gun Dynasty's next target is gonna be on DRS.
Look at this quick switch that they did. Went to the drop and then they told what was available and sent Benel out there to quickly grab and make their way back. Gun Dynasty seems like communication in this game is coming into play. The precision as well with Benel performing in such a manner. However, everybody is clustering right now. It's only one team who are out here in Purgatory. Levin still surviving. 10 minutes about to be on the clock. And even Falcons are entering into the close compounds. It's a lot of teams clustering one after another. And we'll also soon see a circle shift. Does it favor any of the teams? It does. To those 3 teams we earlier pointed. The sandwich situation. DRS, Team Apex Gaming and Demon's Pride.
Even Gun Dynasty has a very good chance. In fact, I think TAG are in the toughest spot in the center. We just see a knockdown early on. Recovery shouldn't be an issue. BRU now, you see, moving to TEC off screen. But I think even for DRS, they have a very good chance of holding back not just Gun Dynasty, causing some damage to Falcons and Evos if the rotation is right.
So crucial rotations as we are getting closer to the last few games of Group A. Everybody's trying to bite time. Everybody's trying to bite their own play. Figure out what's the best approach. While we all were thinking at the start of the day, hey, top 4 teams, they will be safe and sound. They do not have to be worried about. They're slowly trying to get worried. Except for Buriram as well as All Gamers Global.
Yeah, those two, I think, without a shadow of doubt, have already qualified for Saturday. But then they still want more. Can never get enough points. AGAL, double digits. 11 and counting. Dinoculus used with the scan towards the southeastern side. Or at least the north side of fields. Should be able to rotate there. There's a small compound to work with, but better yet, high ground advantage that puts them within range of proximity of Paradox Gaming. And I think the second Dinoculus have confirmed that. There is Falcons there though.
And Falcons are already busy in a fight. That's going to be against Paradox. Windy already down. Sneaky trying to fend off. It doesn't work. He'll also be taken down. One last player. He is closer to the vending machine and he'll quickly strike the revive button. And Drendrike will be brought back. Snipe. With that happening, Falcons have an idea of where he is, and Snipe will be sniped out by Limit X7. Nice shot. And that's going to be the 5th elimination for Limit. And this is what Falcons needed. Every sniper out there performing, Limit had to do it.
One of the rising stars a couple years ago. And since then, we know that Limit is special. Look at that. 2 more. No confirmation just yet. No utility dump. More than enough to cause a lot of issues there. Pressure onto AGAL. Can they continue to deliver? Pina now getting pushed. Sci-Fi in the forefront. Let's have the Cassie helping out. Meanwhile, full team on the Gun Dynasty as Trap lands a quad nade. But the pressure now mounts onto Limit. As attentions shift, Limit knocked down. And AGAL breaks the spine and the anchor of Falcons, and that should be it. AGAL once more coming out on top of this exchange.
They always do it. You give them a small inch, they take the whole ground. And Falcons, who are ahead of it, playing outside the zone, get hit upon it. Their sniper gets taken down with the damage on the zone itself, and All Gamers Global quickly act on it. Kiroro, can he do something different? The last one, and it's going to be Cypher showing his own precision skills. And with that, Falcons are out.
There's a possibility for a 3rd Booyah with how things are going for AGAL. BRU hasn't really shown much action yet, much activity. Only 1 elimination so far.
Yeah.
As we're down to the last 8 teams. Paradox Gaming, Enrique perishes to the blue. Barrow's actually getting knocked down by the play zone, same as Saifa. Nameless, can he get out of this one? DRS getting some free pickings. A hefty price to pay for AGL.
Yeah, playing it outside the zone, we've always talked about it. We thought AGL were ahead of it. They knew what was about to happen. But DRS, they came in as a surprise. The real soldiers, they want their opportunity. As Titan Esports Club are trying to close the distance, they do not want to give it away. Now they have another challenge that's going to be loud. If they're able to secure some more points, they will not get pushed off by Titan Esports Club because they're still surviving. Look at Trap making a jump and that distraction works out. VZP with the AC-80 finds an opening. Now Trap with the Winchester from afar, already shooting bullets. And there is Nyx with the Max 7 and VZP with the M590 pumping bullets. Pratik and Stroix trying to hold the ground for the time being. And Takure, he has to help out. Two of the loud players are down. Trap is too far away, outside the zone, damage being done. Gosha has to be the savior here. Pratik gets confirmations, but the sniper is not going to help out as Trap is also taken down.
And Guaksha, can he make that clutch happen? That's going to be one. Two more to go, cutting down the ranks, find the isolations. Guaksha again, down to just 50 HP. Takuri around the corner, secures it. DRS lives on.
You have to give it to Stroix over there. The way he was able to hold at the edge of the circle. And DRS still keep fighting, taking Loud out. Evo's on the other end, the 1K, the last man standing. And at this point, there's no opportunity. Boltmaker as well. Stealth fights for how long, though? Oh no, Buriram. The team who just held their front, get some points. They find them out. And that is DRS out. And Russia, his position revealed. And Team Apex Gaming, they get that elimination. Make it to the top 3.
TAG have another chance, but guess who else has? Demon's Pride. Pakistan on the radar. Right into the dens of BRU. With some help from TAG, they might be able to get it done. And BRU now facing a 4v8 odds. Jonah good on the one. Jazzy knocks down. Wasana ready for the rush. Madara shot down as well. And the attention paid on DP by BRU would be the undoing. But guess what, Lucifer? TAG have a chance again.
Once more, shot over the dash. Wasana is down. Getting on. He finds it, and that's a second for Team Apex Gaming. They get the second for India. A booyah!
And it pays forward. Once was not enough. They joined AGAL on that leaderboard for the second booyah. And I think at this point of time, Lucifer, guaranteed survival round. Guaranteed a second life.
They needed this. This is what was in the making for TAG. Team Apex Gaming, the champs from India. They did lift the trophy in India. And now it's time they get closer towards an international stage trophy, and getting 2 booyahs in a single day is not an easy job at all.
Years of wishing to have a slot, and in the first year, the debut on the biggest stage ever, they lock in 2. And it means just much more just for TAG, for the region itself. I think after today, or after we depart from Paris, they are going to be an inspiration for the rest of India. But final sequences again, TAG, opportunistic in their pursuit of glory, with a little bit of a help from DP, but overall TAG, impressive finisher.
Take knock. 150. ये तो इजी बुया था. इजी बुया यार. इजी था. इजी था.
Just like we spoke about AGL, right? Cool, calm and composed. And that's what Team Apex Gaming do here. It didn't look like they were rattled by it. They clearly positioned themselves ahead of the game. And as you can see, they said, this was a booyah written for us.
Yep. Easy booyah, in the words of the players.
Yeah.
I don't blame them. I mean, again, they were, it's either BRU get their 4th in the group stage, either that or Pakistan gets their 1st in the hands of Demon's Pride, or TAG getting a 2nd. And we know which one is written in stone. I mean, if you are BRU, what are you worried about, right? You're doing great regardless. But with that being said, I'm sure that some of the players have something to say, and we have one prepared with Nyx.
Are we in? Are we live? I believe we're live. I'm not hearing anything, but I'm going to take it. How's it going, everyone? We're back on the main stage. We do, of course, have Nyx here joining us from Loud Snickers. My name's Barney Banks. I've got Carol Bombshell joining us here. We're going to ask some questions. Nyx, let's kick things off. Let's talk about strategy, okay? Because yesterday, it seemed like the gameplay was very slightly different. Today, you seem like you're getting a bit more aggressive. Eliminations are coming in. Was that the plan, or is that just the way that the games have gone today?
Falando um pouco sobre estratégias, a gente viu que ontem vocês começaram muito agressivos, muitas eliminações. E esse era o plano desde o início? Vocês queriam começar nesse estilo mais agressivo?
Não, a gente foi mais um improviso, mais oportunidades que a gente via na hora. O nosso estilo de jogo é mais centralizado e acaba que os times que estão ao nosso redor, no trap de lança, pá, assim, pô, fica mais fácil também, né?
Well, that was not the plan at the beginning. Yeah, we had to improvise. We took opportunities, so we see the teams during rotation, so we just took opportunities. Yes, we used the right guns, and our coach and our team captain just gave us the call, and then we did it, the aggressive games type. Okay, Nyx, so would you consider your group, the group of death that's we like to call, consider that including the reign champions, Evils, even Team Falcons, Buriram, does having all these strongest teams in the same group make it the toughest team in the tournament so far? Tendo times, você considera o seu grupo, o grupo da morte, levando em consideração que tem os atuais campeões, o time da Evils, tem também Team Falcons que venceu no primeiro ano, tem uma Buriram também. Você acha que tendo esses times que são fortes, faz o grupo de vocês serem um grupo da morte?
Eu acredito que sim, porque se não fosse por isso, não seria campeões mundiais, né? São times que são muito bons em endgame e acaba que no endgame esses times que são muito bons dá uma dificuldade assim. Eu acho que o nosso grupo é o da morte, mas a gente também somos bons, né? À toa que estamos aí distante do top 5, se eu não me engano.
Yeah, definitely we consider these teams the group of that. Of course, we are among the strongest teams here so far, and having like the reigning champions and also Team Falcons who won AWC 2024 definitely make this group the strongest so far, especially because we have all this kind of teams here from Thailand, Indonesia, but also we are not behind them because we reached the top 5.
You're definitely not. You're performing incredibly well so far, and obviously a few more games to go to close out the group stage for you guys. Now, I want you to cast your mind back, because playing regionally before you got here onto the global stage, you guys are playing incredibly well in Brazil. So I just want to know, did that boost your confidence coming into EWC, knowing that in the later stages of this tournament, you're likely to face off against some of your Brazilian rivals?
Bom, chegar aqui como os campeões, né, do Campeonato Brasileiro faz com que vocês consigam chegar aqui nesse momento mais fortes, vocês consigam jogar um pouco mais parelho. Você acha que essa confiança de fato veio junto com vocês?
Sim, com certeza. Não tem nada melhor que sermos campeões, principalmente dos campeonatos oficiais que teve no Brasil, que é o FFWS e o Clash Masters. Acaba que sim, a gente chega muito confiante porque, querendo ou não, a gente acredita, o nosso time em si, que Free Fire é bastante confiança. Tanto é que no dia de hoje a gente teve algumas quedas muito boas justamente por causa da confiança. Vinha time, nós chegava e matava, oportunidade matava. Isso, querendo ou não, leva o astral do time dentro das partidas e acaba que sim.
Well, definitely arriving here at the AWC 26 as Brazilian champions definitely give us a lot of confidence. So we arrive here knowing that playing Free Fire, we need to be confident here. So with our team, we had really good talks, really good chemistry, and we team up, and that's the results. The results don't lie. Perfect. Nyx, for us to finish our interview, one more question. Your country mates performed well in Group B last night. How are you feeling about Fluxo and Lo's performance yesterday? I forgot to translate. That's okay, that's happened all the time. Nyx, você viu, né, as partidas dos jogos de ontem, né, do Fluxo e do time da Luz. Como é que você se sente vendo os times brasileiros também indo bem por aqui?
Cara, eu fico muito feliz, mesmo sendo rivais no Brasil, a gente ainda continua sendo brasileiro. Eu sempre trouxe pelo melhor do time da Luz, dos moleques do Fluxo também. Eu fico muito feliz de ver, porque eu não gosto, sendo bem sincero, eu não gosto desse gringo não, mas só dos brasileiros só.
That was a good answer. You're gonna like this. Okay, for sure, I'm really happy for Fluxo and Los because we are all from Brazil. And of course, we want Brazil on the top. It doesn't matter. And especially because I don't like these other teams here. I don't like the other regions. So yes, Brazil on the top for sure. Okay, thanks so much for the interview. Good luck in the next matches. It was a pleasure to talk to you. And we are back in the studio. You are back in the studio.
Bonjour, it's Yunsu, and right here I'm at our co-streamer place. Once again, we're meeting our famous character, Background, and of course, our super fan from Team Secret, Cyrus. Xin chào tất cả mọi người, thì hôm nay cũng là ngày thi đấu thứ hai của Free Fire EWC 26 rồi. Thì không biết là mình nói về ngày hôm qua một chút đi. WEG cũng như là Team Secret đã có cho mình một cái ngày thi đấu khá là ổn khi mà có được một booyah và cũng như là một cái số điểm tương đối để có thể tiếp tục trong ngày thi đấu hôm nay. Thì Background có suy nghĩ gì về ngày thi đấu hôm qua của Team Secret ạ?
Chào tất cả mọi người. Thì nếu mà nói về ngày thi đấu của Secret WG ngày hôm qua thì bản thân mình thấy là chưa ổn vô lắm các bạn. Hôm nay sẽ là ngày thi đấu quyết định của Secret WG. Các bạn biết là một ngày thi đấu, sau 2 ngày thi đấu thì chúng ta chỉ lấy 2 đội thôi, 4 đội thôi. Và hôm nay buộc Secret WG phải thi đấu hết sức có thể để ghi tên mình vào trận chung kết.
Không biết là Cyrus thì cảm thấy như thế nào ta?
Thì em nghĩ hôm nay WG phải bắn hết mình để lọt top 4 vào chung kết. Tại vì thà vào top 4 ngày hôm nay chứ ngày mai thì em thấy là khá là căng đấy. Căng hơn hôm nay rất là nhiều.
So as we can see from yesterday, WEG from Background said he doesn't feel that good, that well about Team Secret since they are doing just only a decent ranking in our group stage A, of course. But overall, he said that in today, we have to try our best, especially get into the top 4 as soon as possible. If not, getting into the group tomorrow would be a criminal to them. You know, it's going to be very difficult, very hard for them to compete. And of course, for our old teammates, here's Cyrus, our old teammates of Team Secret, also having the same discuss with Background that they have to try their best in order to get into top 4. Today is a very important day for everyone, both in Group A and Group B. We all must get into the top 4 if they don't want to be left behind. Of course, if you're not getting into top 4, you're still having chances. But if you're at ranking 11 and 12, boom, you are out, not being available into the game anymore. So, as we can see in the chats, ở đây thì em thấy là mọi người có vẻ như là tương tác rất là nhiều. Thì không biết là phần lớn, bác con nghĩ như thế nào là mọi người sẽ thường nhắc đến chủ đề gì ở trong cái phần chat của comment mình ạ?
Ở trong cái phần chat comment của mình khi mình coi stream thì tất cả mọi người đều tập trung về Secret WG cả, và ủng hộ cho một đại diện duy nhất của Free Fire Việt Nam. Tất cả mọi người đều muốn rằng một kết quả thật là tốt trong cái buổi thi đấu quyết định ngày hôm nay của Secret WG.
Vâng ạ, và nghe kết quả có vẻ rất là khả quan và cũng như là tinh thần của người dân Việt Nam mình rất là đoàn kết với nhau. Thì em cũng không biết là em muốn hỏi là thường những cái buổi livestream mà nó mang tính chất quan trọng như thế này thì bác Gáo sẽ ngồi xem cùng với bao nhiêu người ở trên livestream của mình vậy ạ?
Thật ra là vào những cái buổi livestream quan trọng như thế này thì xưa giờ mình chỉ xem một mình thôi, nhưng hôm nay thì có cậu em Cyrus của mình đi theo thì tất nhiên là có cậu ấy.
So normally in the chats, especially in those important occasions like this, everyone in Vietnam, because we are having only one representative from Vietnam, especially for the Free Fire World Series Vietnam. Here is Team Secret, or as known as WAG. They are trying their best to support for their favorite team. Overall, as you can see, normally Becca will only sit and watch the live stream alone, but today, of course, he has a very special company, whom is Cyrus. And overall, I can see normal his number is very impressive because For your information, Backout is one of the most famous Free Fire streamer in Vietnam. Normally, as I can see, he will have around like 10k or 20k viewers at the same time watching the live stream with him and support the best for Team Secret or any Vietnam representer in the game and everyone in the game as well. So it's a very pleasure for everyone to be here with me so we can enjoy this very amazing atmosphere right here at EWC 26. Cảm ơn Backout rất là nhiều. Vậy thì không biết là anh có lời nào cuối cùng muốn gửi đến cho tất cả các bạn khán giả tại Việt Nam cũng như là Team Secret của mình tại sân khấu không ạ?
Mình mong rằng tất cả các bạn đang coi livestream ở trên toàn các kênh sóng của Revive Việt Nam sẽ cổ vũ hết mình cho Series WG và đồng hành cùng họ ở hành trình này nha.
So here's one last thing I want to send to the viewers. Please continue to support for Team Secret and of course to all of the rest team at EWC 26 Free Fire at this time. Thank you so much for your cooperation in this interview and we will catch you guys later.
Seven, the camera's on. Seven.
Wake up, Seven.
Sorry about that. I was having deja vu. I was dreaming that AG and Tag won again. They did. They actually ended up doing it again.
It actually happened. It's not your dream.
Especially Tag getting off that booyah curse that we saw earlier from them. I mean, this squad has finally been able to step up considering that some of those top teams have been slowing down. And I'm looking at Falcons and Gun Dynasty.
Well, it's really getting tough right now for Gun Dynasty because it seems like the 3 games, it's something, there's a lot more that they can do right now, but I think they might be able to catch up on the second half, but we'll have to find out though if they'll be able to pull it off.
Yeah, I mean, Gun Dynasty in Groups Day 1, they actually have a 12.8 elimination average and 4.75 for placements. And guess what they've dropped down to for these matches? 1 for elimination and 3 for placement.
Ooh.
That is quite a significant sort of jump from yesterday's performance for Gun Dynasty. And then who is trailing on their tails? Team Falcons. And I mean, I did sort of touch on this at the earlier stages. They needed to have a little bit more of eliminations under their belt to be able to push themselves up into that top 4. And with their track record right now, I mean, they're doing it. Although they sort of fell out in 8th place in that last match, they did have about 14 eliminations as well. So this is like the consistency and the massive advance that Falcons needed to be able to keep themselves out of that survival stage.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, hopefully they keep up that consistency because there was one time when Team Falcons was hunted by Aurora Gaming. And it's tough. All right. Hopefully that doesn't affect Aurora Gaming.
You just have to talk about Aurora Gaming somehow.
I said I won't be saying the name once again. Anyways, Aurora Gaming was just like eliminated as he's trying to go for a revive. It's just unfortunate. They have to stay outside of the zone. Aurora Gaming can soak up full squad, and then the moment that one by one Team Falcons is going for those revives, Aurora Gaming is just capitalizing and shooting them down.
But this is exactly what we expect to see from the EWC, right?
Yep.
Apex, they weren't so great yesterday, but today 17 elimination points in just one game. That is so amazing. AGAL 16 elimination points. It shows that the team that weren't performing so well yesterday are finally feeling the pressure, and being under that pressure lit the fire under their bottoms. So yeah, that's exactly what we're seeing today.
Neptune gave him a nickname, Taggle. Because it's Tag and AGL just winning. We came up with Taggle.
Yeah, and
that's all we got.
are the improvements that we need to see, and we wanted to see from them.
And we got to see those improvements because they might be listening to us. If I'm being completely honest. Lucifer, yesterday, he was able to say Tag is going to wake up in the second day. Lucifer, I see what you were doing. I'm wondering if you maybe went and told me, okay, you really need to make sure you wake up in the second day. I'm putting my credibility on this. But another squad that has been able to maybe listen to some of the stuff that we've been talking about has been none other than AG.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, from earlier, we were talking about how well they are holding the south side of each circle, how they go rotation is just keeping them safe. And in the previous round, we saw them in the north. So the same strategy that they were able to pull off. And one thing is, like, even if you make that adjustment, it's not easy. But good thing that they have good snipers, good information getters, as well as those frontliners who keep those paths safe for them. So the rotation, either way, south or north, east or west, it doesn't matter for AGAL.
Well, let's take a look at that overall ranking because we will have only 2 matches left of Group A. Buram, congratulations, you had passed the 200-point mark. I think it's safe to say that all these 4 squads might end up going to the finals unless we see an absolute just crush of emotions in Team Falcons. Doing amazing.
Yeah, of course. I mean, seeing how AGAL right now has collected 199 points, we all know that AGAL is one of the strongest when it comes to Southeast Asia, but when it comes to the EWC, this is actually quite a surprise. I mean, Loud, EFOS, you guys better get focused